This guy's being accused of scamming the poker community by claiming he had terminal cancer.
Say hello to Rob Mercer, everyone.
Rob, introduce yourself like Cody did. Tell us what happened, what you're dealing with.
Hello, everybody. Last June, I got COVID. My dad and I got COVID, and it lasted for me like a month. And when it was gone, I started having other physical problems that I didn't think had anything to do with COVID. I had started having a lot of stomach problems, bowel problems. My body was really, really going through the works. So I went to my doctor and then told him I wanted to see a specialist. I got tested, and then like a month later, I was basically diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer.
He agreed to go on Nick Vertucci's show and tell his story. Nick did a good deed, hosting Mercer, along with Cody Daniels, who shared his heartbreaking story.
I just went to bed one night, woke up with some horrible stomach pain, and went to the hospital, and my life was forever changed. My small intestine ended up rupturing. And so I was flown to Phoenix, where I then spent nearly 10 years of my life in the hospital since age 12. So, and that's inside the hospital. I don't eat. I get fed through a tube in my stomach. I have a ileostomy bag or colostomy bag. I'm in bed normally about 21 hours minimum per day.
Yet Mercer appears to have seen an opportunity.
It's literally crazy. And so basically my dad and I, we decided, he said he wanted to help me, and he wanted to make my dreams come true. So we started taking like little poker trips here and there, but it was hard on me because my body was just shutting down.
Playing up his diagnosis.
Leading into the 2023 WSOP, Rob Mercer started a GoFundMe claiming he had terminal cancer, and it's his dream to play in the WSOP main event.
I realized my love for poker, and it gave me like an adrenaline rush, and it really helped me, like put me in a positive mindset that I really like getting back on the table and grinding.
He launched his GoFundMe, claiming he had stage 4 colon cancer, to pay for his buy-in at the World Series of Poker, which is $10,000. How did you first meet Rob?
I think I met him through Twitter Spaces.
Ash Kardash is a fellow poker player and sat in on that Nick Vertucci interview with Mercer and Daniels.
And I kind of just like jumped in, and I was dealing with my own health issues at the time. So I was like, let's see what we can do for this kid.
Through tons of promotion from Kardash, Vertucci, and many others in the poker space.
He said something on the video or on that call that really stuck out, and he said, my dad is going to walk in here one day and he's going to find his son dead, and that's a very real thing. And I'm like, hopefully my dad never has to go through that. I'm a mom, and I could never imagine those being my children.
Mercer would not only reach his goal, he exceeded it. The contributions totaled, per CBS News, between $30,000 and $50,000. He received a free suite at the Bellagio. A fellow player donated $2,500 to him. That player was Cody Daniels.
Let's really rally for this kid. Let's do what we can. And I just wanted his last couple of months to be something that he would be okay with, passing away. I got to do everything I wanted to do, and I'm fine with it,
Then folks started feeling dubious about him.
He told him he was sick, he had to go home. Flash forward to an hour and a half later, and Ben and a couple other people caught him in the pits, and he was literally multi-tabling. He was playing dice, and he was going back and playing, I think it's called Caribbean Stud or something to that.
Something Ash touched on.
So from a couple of the donors that had donated money to him, when they asked him about him gambling in the pits, he was just off and basically told them that it was his life, that they couldn't do anything about it, that, even if he was sick and he was dying, that it was none of their business. He was still going to gamble, and he was still going to play the main event, and how dare they, even ask him, or interrogate him, because it wasn't their position to.
She would also feel unsure about him because he simply did not keep his word.
But at the same time, he was avoiding meetings with people that he had already set up weeks in advance. Like, I was supposed to meet him out there, and I never met him. He avoided me. And I was going to show up to a game that I have sat in at previously, which was Alan Keating's private game. And that night he texted me and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, but like nobody can come." So that kind of raised a red flag, but I didn't think too much of it. I just kind of let it go.
Per Snoop Dogg, when Mercer was called out, this was his response.
He had a bunch of excuses, and then that was it. He played the main. He busted. He got he was very confrontational on Twitter. You know, these are all the flags that I'm seeing, and he's telling people on Twitter that, "Oh, I'll fly to where you're at and fight you."
Doug, along with others, started to believe Mercer might be a scam artist.
I'm not sure if you've seen what that is, but it's just a screenshot of him messaging his doctor saying, "Hey, Dr. W, can you send me my cancer diagnosis or something?" It's not even the doctor's response. And right above it, because I use my chart, right above it, it says test results. So anything out of the last 20, 30 years, he could have clicked and had that, right?
He asked Ash Kardash what proof Rob Mercer sent to her. Describe to me or tell me about the moment where it was confirmed that he was swindling you guys and everybody in the poker community.
Whenever me and Snoop Dogg went over the messages and I sent him that screenshot and he sent me the same screenshot, I think my heart just sunk in that moment.
Which Ash confirmed. Then Doug caught him again.
This is where he screwed up. This is where I officially knew I had him. 3 months ago, he sent that proof to Ash Kardash, and it's a screenshot of the doctor, him just asking for it. When he sent me proof, he sent that day, 4 days ago, the same thing, saying that I'm asking the doctor right now. I will know in a few days.
Then it all came out. He would admit he did not have colon cancer after all, but he does have another form of cancer. He told the Las Vegas Review-Journal he was scared to admit he had undiagnosed breast cancer, though there has been no confirmation of this. For Ash, it's more than just what meets the eye.
I've had people close to me pass away from cancer. I was seeing what Cody was going through. He was, in and out of the ICU. He has been all his life. To me, it's not the money. It's just, I don't know how I want to word this. It's how he took advantage of everyone.
Snoop, meanwhile, dug deeper.
The doctor was not a cancer doctor. It was a family practitioner. And that doctor has been closed since 2021.
The pulled GoFundMe can be seen here, where he pleaded for donations to fulfill his dream of playing at the World Series of Poker. Kardash would say she felt even more terrible for Daniels, a 2015 Make-A-Wish recipient who stuck his neck out and soulfully helped Mercer in more ways than one. He called Mercer's act heinous. Immediately, GoFundMe went on the offensive. A representative contacted Mercer for violating their TOS. When asked if he would repay the money, he said no, because he believes he has the aforementioned undiagnosed breast cancer.
The only one who was really put out of any money was Cody Daniels. He was put out $2,500, and I believe as of yesterday, they have raised $1,000 to recompensate Cody for the money that he was out of.
Bertucci would address the scandal to his community, take full responsibility, apologize profusely, and call Mercer gross.
It's just like, come clean, come clean and say that you lied and that you needed the money or that you have a gambling addiction, be honest. But for you to continue to lie and then lie in Cody Daniels' face, it's awful. It's awful.
Mercer, however, disagrees with the backlash. They're making me out to be some kind of monster, like this vindictive villain who planned this for months in advance, Mercer said. It's just crazy, but I understand, I get it. If you had a message for Rob, what would it be?
I don't even know. Nothing nice, but that I really hope that he gets some help, because to have no remorse, to not feel anything for Cody. I think most of us can relate to losing somebody close to us due to cancer. For him to play on that emotion so strongly and not have any remorse after what he did, to not, really come out and just apologize and say, I messed up, you guys. It just takes a different type of person who's really sick in the head to do that. I think that, you reap what you sow, and eventually he's gonna have to answer for all of the wrongs that he's done. So I don't wish anything nice for him in the end. That's it.
He has since been banished by the poker community.